All right, so I recently made a video about this controller here, the Gulikit KingKong 3 Max. And in that video, I expressed my opinions about how much I really love this controller. I had some weird things going on it that I also talked about, so I want to kind of address those after I've learned a few more things about it and kind of give you my updated thoughts on the controller. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so in that original video, I talked about how the controller was doing these super weird things. Like if I was knocked and I was holding R2, instead of holding up my shield, it would randomly start taking screenshots. Or the one that I was super frustrated with is randomly my volume would start going up and I really had no idea why that was happening. So I went into just your normal like Steam input settings and there was nothing in there that I could find. But what I found was if you go to non-game controller layouts, in this guide button chord layout, if you go into edit here, and I'm just going to go view layout, currently there's nothing set in here. And that's because I went in and deleted every command. So like I said, when I was holding R2, I was trying to put up a shield, but it'd be taking a screenshot. And so when I looked at RT originally, it said screenshot. And then we had all these other different Windows commands that it was executing, and those all came from here. Since I've changed this, I've had no issues, so hopefully that'll be able to help you out if you are experiencing that. But beyond that, I want to show kind of the capabilities of this controller now. So we're going to hop into the firing range in Apex. So here we go. Okay, so right now I have the controller connected with the adapter. And the cool thing is, with this replacement controller, so the one that I bought after my original one broke, this one doesn't seem to have those same issues. So when I used the adapter originally, okay, if I was to run around and maybe change my direction, do whatever I was doing, all of a sudden it would stop reading my commands, and then about 2 seconds later it would zip and try to do all the commands that it was missing. So there was kind of like this speed up lag going on with this controller. So the second one that I got in, it's not an issue at all. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. One of them did it, one of them didn't do it. Kind of an interesting thing. I've watched some videos and people have said the quality control can be a concern with these controllers. I mean, obviously in my experiences, I had a button break on me already, and then one of the adapters not working totally correctly. And like I'd updated the controller, I'd done lots of different things to try to troubleshoot it, and it still just didn't work. So that stuff is interesting, but I'm still so in love with this controller, just the way that it feels, the way that it performs. It's so good. So that's kind of my opinions on it. I do want to show off one test here, just showing the polling rate and the stability of the connection, because I'll kind of explain what the issue was when it wasn't working. So we'll show you that right now. Okay, so while looking up the different controllers that I was thinking about buying, I came across people using this application here. You just download from Windows, and basically, if I rotate my left stick here, all that it does is it's going to tell me the polling rate that my controller is communicating with, as well as the stability of that connection. So with it plugged in on the Windows setting, you can see that it is refreshing at the 1000 hertz that it talks about. Well, not quite, it's at 600 or 700, and then a stability of about 70%, okay? With people doing tests on this controller, I've seen lots of different numbers here, but what kind of matters the most is when you're using it wired, you're getting a consistent connection at least, and you're not getting any crazy speed up lag, anything like that, versus when you're using it with the adapter, sometimes you're going to see that the polling rate might only be 500 of the 1000, as well as you might get some weird stability things going on. So I'm going to re-plug in with mine. Like I said, with this controller, I haven't been having issues with it, but we'll put it to the test really quickly, see if we see anything weird, and then we'll look to close up the video after that. All right, so I've now got it connected using the adapter, and like you saw at the beginning, it was kind of flickering with the weirdness of the 100 and something percent. It's having a tough time deciding if it's refreshing at 1000 hertz or 500 hertz. When it's at that 500, you're seeing that the stability is well over 100%, and I think that just comes down to this thinking that it's at 500, not 1000. What was happening with the original controller is that it was refreshing at 1000, but the stability when at 1000 was still above 100%. And it was then that I had issues with this. How it is right now, it looks weird and it looks like it probably shouldn't be working, but it is. So at least with this controller, when I'm using the adapter, the controller works properly. When I'm doing this test, it obviously makes it look like it probably shouldn't be. But obviously you multiply 60 by 2, you get the 120-ish numbers that we're looking at there, because it's only refreshing at 500 versus 1000. In this scenario, the controller is still working well, so I don't have any issues with it, but kind of just some weird stuff again. So yeah, those are kind of the different weird things that I've experienced so far with this controller. Like I said at the beginning of the video though, I still absolutely love this controller. I still think that it's insane value for money. The only thing that I'm not sure about is going to be the long-term durability of it. Obviously, I had to return the first one within the first month. This one, it's performing excellently so far. I'm really hoping that it'll keep up that way because just the feeling, it's super light. The vibrations are great. Having the swappable thumbsticks, I really like these thumbsticks. And then obviously the paddles are fantastic. So I'm really loving this controller. I hope that long term it's going to keep up. That will remain to be seen. So yeah, those are a couple of the things that I've experienced with this controller. Be sure to let me know down in the comments if you have this controller and if you've had any weird experiences with it, or if you're looking to get one for yourself. So be sure to let me know down in the comments. And that is all I got for you guys today. Peace.